And if it came down to Westbrook or Monk, I'd want Monk.
Why?
He's a better player today.
Is he a better player for what the Kings need?
To me personally, they're about the same.
Okay. For what the Kings need, not as players.
For what the Kings need, okay. and as players today. Like they are both. I don't even want to say this about Malik because I don't necessarily think he's there, but they're like trick or treat players. You'll get a great performance, and then you'll get this awful performance.
Mm-hmm.
And Russ, at this point in his career, that is just what he is. Like there is no middle ground with Russell Westbrook. Mm-hmm. He's either playing a great game and he's helping you win a Game 7 against the Clippers, mm-hmm. or he steps on the court in Game 7 against the Thunder, and the whole game shifts in a bad way. Mm-hmm. Like that's who he is. And I think Malik Monk, on a smaller scale, is like that, but he's a little bit more consistent at this point in his career than Russell Westbrook. Just a little bit more consistent.
Okay. All right. I feel like I could pick apart what you said. I don't know that I would use the word consistent to describe Malik Monk, but that's not exactly what you said. You said he's a little more consistent than Russell Westbrook is right now.
Right.
So, okay. Like I hear you.
Little less erratic.
No, for sure. Yeah. And Russ is, by his own acknowledgement, is erratic in a certain sense. I'll say this in terms of the case for Russell Westbrook. Putting my general joy and happiness aside, is there something to be said for it appears the Kings don't want Malik Monk?
Yeah.
I mean, and so I don't know that it necessarily works like this, but, TC talking about go get Westbrook, figure it out later. Again, not knowing how they could pull this off. Like, is it a situation where you go acquire Russell Westbrook because you can't move, you don't intend to play Malik Monk? And again, I don't know that it necessarily works like that. But I've heard Westbrook's name in Sacramento for months. I won't go so far as to say it's a foregone conclusion, but when I asked about the conversation really started about the Denver thing, because I asked, like, he has a team, right? Like that, like he has a team. And the person was like, no, he just didn't want to play another year in Denver. And I heard James this morning talking about Russ should be playing for a contender. Like he should, like what he did last year, he should be trying to go win a championship. And while I think a title would mean a lot to Russell Westbrook, I don't think it means more than being close to his family. If Doug Christie tells the Sacramento Kings, they have the day after the game off, he charters a flight and goes home and with his family the next day in Los Angeles. Right. Or that night he's with them in Los Angeles. Right. I think he'll take that over chasing being a role player. And granted, he was a really important role player for Denver last year in winning a title. That's just my opinion. I don't know that for sure. But when I listen to the man talk, like, a lot of people talk about priorities. When Russell Westbrook talks, it sounds like family is his number one priority. Not questioning the man's love of basketball, not questioning anything like that. But that's why you don't go to Boston to try to win a title or go to New York to try to win a title. It's like you don't have the ability to, Mike Brown gives this day off, which we know he probably won't anyways, to just hop on a plane and wind up in your Southern California home in 45 minutes.
Right. Some of these guys like Westbrook, I look at it as perfectly reasonable. Some people may think it's selfish or anything. I don't think it's like that at all. But they want to still play basketball. They still want to be part of a team where they can contribute and, get playing time and all this other stuff. You go to the Knicks or you go to Boston, you might be seeing a bunch of DMPs.
Right.
And like, yeah, you'll be in a winning situation. And that's always great too. But, you still want to play basketball. No shade to this guy at all, but not a lot of people want to be Kevin Love. You know what I'm saying? Where Kevin Love is just kind of on a team and hanging around. Like they want to still get out there.
What kind of team are the Kings trying to build towards if you're moving off of Malik Monk's and adding Russell Westbrook's?
Survive.
What does that mean?
I don't think
like I don't even necessarily think that makes you any better. So I'm wondering, okay, are you trying to
Maybe not.
build an identity? Are you trying to build a culture with that kind of move? Like, what is the thinking here?
Maybe not, but it could also just be the idea of there's appears to be something about Malik that this front office doesn't like.
Like, yeah, and I get that. Like, just fine if you're not a Malik Monk guy in Sacramento, like in that front office or whatever, that's fine. But like I said, my just question is, what are you exactly trying to? What are you trying to build here then?
Well, you
What is the
might be
culture,
trying
the
to,
identity? Like, what are you adding then?
the cultural identity, I think, stays the same, but you might be adding some flexibility financially. If you can get in a situation where you move on from Malik Monk and you get maybe expirings back, or you get something that better fits your roster, whether it's like a wing player or um, some type of forward or something like that, and that better fits trying to win, or you get a young player or something like that, that balances the roster out a little bit. It also may potentially balance your books out a little bit more. I really do think the the biggest issue with Malik Monk is his price tag for the Kings. I think if he was making $7 million a year, I don't know if we'd have the same feeling about, like, yeah, they're just trying to move on from this guy.
No, because he'd be playing under the Trey Lyles deal damn near. Like, that'd be severely underpaying him. Is 18 million really that much?
It's not.
Like, we talked about it a few years ago.
Well, it didn't feel like it was a lot last year. This year, it feels like it's a.
And if you shedding salary, and like what are you
it was like
adding?
A Joe Johnson Atlanta contract.
I don't believe that it's that much, but it feels like the league thinks it's too much for a non-starter.
So let me ask this question: you think Malik Monk is a better player than Russell Westbrook right now?
Yeah.
Fine. Is Malik Monk a better point guard than Russell Westbrook right now?
If they're coming off the bench,
you're thinking way too long. The answer to me is definitively no.
Well, if they're coming off the bench, like I could have Malik Monk play with the basketball in his hands for a little while, like how it was when he was at his best.
Malik's not a better point
Russ,
guard
and you know how I feel about Russ.
No, I understand
he's a wild card, and as a
he
point
is,
guard,
but he's not a better. He's still a better point guard than Malik Monk is. If you want to argue Malik is a better basketball player, that's fine, but he's not a better point guard. And my point in that is that's what the Sacramento Kings want, is a point guard.
They needed, well, like I can't argue with what they want, but like I feel like they needed a starting point guard. I feel like the backup spot you can kind of move with just Malik playmaking with the ball, basketball in his hands and stuff like that. I feel like you don't necessarily need a traditional backup point guard. Like starting, yeah, that didn't work out. Malik Monk is not a starting point guard in the NBA, no doubt. But I feel like coming off the bench, you can kind of work around that.
I look at this. This may take a little more time as I just go through some things, but I look at some of these winning teams, and I once again I think Malik Monk is perfectly fine at $18 million a year. But outside of Naz Reid, are there a lot of bench guys that are making that type of money?
Yeah, so I think Kyle said this whenever it was. Like, how many like contending teams have a player like Malik Monk on their team at that salary as well?
That's the salary, man. The
salary. And I don't know how many do.
Is Austin Reeves better than Malik Monk?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. You answered that already.
Okay. No. I didn't mean that to like come across anyway. Like he's better. Yeah, I think Austin Reeves. Reeves is probably significantly better than Malik Monk.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Austin Reeves really good though. He's a good ball player. He's a good ball player. No shade to him. I look at Indiana. Obi Toppin's making 14, 15, 16 over the next 3 years. TJ McConnell's making 10. I saw Isaiah Joe was making like 11. So
D'Lo's a thought.
What you thinking?
I let y'all ride with this long enough, and I'm terribly
sorry.
What do you mean? Malik Monk is not better than Russell Westbrook right now. No, he's not. He's not.
Oh, I disagree.
Nah, he's not.
Why not?
Why do you come to that conclusion?
Like, I'm just looking at numbers. The numbers are comparable. Like, and that was with the role Russ had last year. Malik did everything from start to come off the bench to be a point guard to be a two guard. Like what
I
is
think at their
Malik?
best
Let
at
me
this-
ask you this: What is God? I'm not trying to turn heel on Malik. Like, what is he good at?
He's a
good
better
scorer.
he's a better scorer.
Yeah.
today.
Malik at his
And he's a better
Okay, he's a
shooter.
better scorer. All
He's
right,
a better shooter.
Malik at his
That-
best.
The game plan will never be leave him open in the corner for any team.
We saw him in that playoff series. I mean, the one playoff series, but he turned up when they needed him. I think Malik.
man.
at
That
his-
was wait, hold on. I don't know. That was 2 years ago.
Well, they
I'm
haven't
talking
been-
about Malik today.
They haven't been back since. Yeah, that's fine. Malik.
I don't know
last
that
year-
Malik is that.
Malik last year, the starting point guard is horrible. Like not horrible, but like yeah, that doesn't work. I have no interest in that. But Malik Monk, the sixth man, is one of the best in the league at what he does. I don't. Malik at his best is better than Russell Westbrook at his best at this point in their careers.
Well, I don't. Okay.
Russ can
Do
probably
we know what
distribute
Malik's
better.
best is? Like,
Malik-
is Malik's best the first year? Is that
The
truly?
first- he was really good the second year too, because we were scared to death that he was going to leave. He was
Of
bumped.
course.
There were a number of games that he won that second year. You know, the one off the top of my head is the Orlando Magic game, the overtime game. He had like 33. Like he
had moments.
he was
for
really
sure.
good the second year too. Last year, nothing really stands out last year. The Cavs game with him and DeMar at home.
Last year, you had break in case of emergency with Malik. Like that didn't work for anyone on the team last year.
He was really good in that Dallas one where DeRozan hit the game winner. He was really, remember he had like 10
Mhm.
points in overtime. Nothing
He
really
got
stood
drowned out by the game DeMar had.
Right.
DeMar's game
He had
was
like
insane.
41.
I
And then
don't-
Malik in overtime was crazy.
I don't necessarily believe this about the second year team because I wasn't too high on them because they just seemed pretty inconsistent. But people will tell you that if Malik was healthy at the end of that year, they make the playoffs or the play-in too, whatever it was.
I think they would have.
Yeah.
I think they would have been. They would have finished top 6.
And I feel like
Last year, I'm gonna give him.
that's a
pass.
lot of romanticizing. The team wasn't playing well at that time.
They were.
Now I'm
They
not
were
questioning.
okay,
Like
and
it went.
They took the nosedive once he
Right.
left. That's kind of what
I
happened.
don't
at
even
that
know.
time.
Okay, they were barely scratching the surface of being okay. They weren't playing, and then Malik gets hurt, and then it dies.
They were. I'll find out in just a second. Because I'm not saying it like they were killing when he was there, but they were moving in a good direction.
And what do you do with a player that you clearly don't like?
Well, you move him, but I guess at this point we just don't agree with him. I don't agree with the Kings. I'll say.
It doesn't feel like moving Malik Monk should be so vital
When
for this basketball team. Like the idea that you can't figure out, the idea that you maybe can't figure out is the wrong. The idea that you don't want to figure out a role for Malik Monk is just it's great. It's something that about this offseason that I completely don't understand.
Maybe you guys can explain the money reasons to me for this one, but I just never like once they were like, oh yeah, they were trying to move off of Malik to get Schroeder in here and send him out. It's like that didn't make any sense to me.
Can I repeat the problem? It's Devin Carter. Devin Carter remains the problem. Are we having these questions about a team that has Dennis Schroeder, Malik Monk, and Russell Westbrook on it? If Devin Carter is gone, this isn't about Devin. It's the fact that Monty screwed up the draft last year.
100%.
And now the Kings Scott Perry are stuck with it.
So you think if they were able to move Devin Carter to be perfectly comfortable with Malik Monk being here?
There shouldn't be a question about moving Malik to sign Russell Westbrook. That should not be a question.
Right.
The Devin Carter must not be thought of
That-
too highly around the league just about the shoulder or what? Because he is a lottery pick from last year. I figure that's can't have like no value at all.
To be honest with you, if I were them, I wouldn't even be tripping off Devin Carter like that if I didn't think he was. If he doesn't play, he don't play. But I need to make whatever moves I need to. If I bring in Russell Westbrook and that puts Devin Carter further down the bench, that's just something I got to chalk up. You know what I mean? Like I can't him being there and feeling, and I don't think Scott Perry feels this way, but him being there and feeling like, man, I got to find a role for him because he was a lottery pick. If I don't believe in what he could bring to the table, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that at all. I'm not worried about that at all.
Yeah, I think that's just a loss for the Kings at this point.
Real quick, last year, or not 2 years ago, the Kings were, I don't know exactly where they were in the standings, but they were 11 games over 500 when Malik Monk went down. They were 42-31 when he went down. He averaged 17 points, 5.5 assists that year.
Okay. Is there another footnote to that injury?
That
Herter
Luka
got
was
hurt. Herter got hurt. they were gone at the same time. You lost your entire depth at that position.
True.
Like that.
True.
I'm not,
that matters.
repping Kevin Herter, but like, yeah, that matters. Like they
Absolutely matters.
They lost everything they had at that position.
Absolutely matters.
At pretty much in one fell swoop.
Mm-hmm.
This shouldn't be a conversation. That's the other part. Like signing Russell Westbrook, moving Malik Monk shouldn't be a conversation. You can feel however you want to about signing Russell Westbrook. I'm so confused as to why moving Malik Monk is such a conversation this offseason.
Man, I really think it's the money. I really do. And you're trying
to. I don't understand that.
I don't know. I don't know if I buy that too. It seems like they're more eager. I feel like.
I do think it's the money. When you, like I said, and I read off some of these contracts. They're not that far off. Obi Toppin's not that far off. Isaiah Joe's not that far off when you talk about their AAV, and those are bench guys.
Well, because what are you looking for if you're trying to move off of that? Like, you got a guy at his best, like a perennial 6 man of the year candidate. Like, what are you exactly? Like, I know you can looking for a wing, but are you getting the same production or anything close?
Well, if you're getting Russell Westbrook at a cheaper rate, yeah. If you're getting Russell Westbrook at $3 million, $4 million a year, he can, while I think Malik Monk is better, he can give you a lot of that at $13 less million a year.
All right, I think I'm lower on Russ than you guys, though.
And I think that's how they're looking at it. They're like, Malik Monk provides a whole lot, but we can get 80% of what Malik brings to the table, whether it's Russ or somebody else. We can get 80% of that at a cheaper rate. That's kind of what we want to do, and take that other $14 million and go get a small forward or a power forward, which is something we don't have.
We're going to talk to Jake Gayden in a second, and I don't want this to because securing the bag. Like I get y'all don't like Russell Westbrook. The Kings were 25-20. That's what that number is when Malik Monk started at the point guard position. That's what he said. So I'm going to tell Securing Bagley to do is to go look up when Russell Westbrook was starting for Denver and tell me what that number is. And I won't. You don't have to because I have it in front of me. He started 36 games for Denver last year and was 22-14. Now go look at Denver's record and look at what they did with Russell Westbrook in the starting lineup. You don't have to like Russell Westbrook. You don't have to like his 3-point shooting, but don't talk about him like he's an inefficient point guard.
Well, not that, but also
he was a huge reason that Denver was where they were last year. Might have been a huge reason why the season ended, but he's a huge reason why they were where they were last year. Go ahead, Jesse.